Welcome everyone. Today I'll be sharing 10 essential tips to help you plan an unforgettable trip to the United States. Traveling to the USA can be incredibly exciting. It's a country known for its immense size and diversity. Whether you're drawn to iconic cities like New York or Los Angeles, breathtaking natural wonders like the Grand Canyon, or rich cultural landmarks, careful preparation will make all the difference. So, before we start, let's say something about important travel requirements. Firstly, check if you need a visa or an ESTA for short stays. This depends on your nationality. Without the right documentation, you might face issues at the border. Secondly, travel insurance is a must. Comprehensive coverage will protect you in case of medical emergencies or other unexpected situations. Lastly, keep an eye on your budget. The USA is known for being expensive, especially in major cities. When planning, include transportation, accommodation, food, and activities in your calculations. This way, you can avoid surprises and enjoy your trip stress free. So, after that short welcome, let's start the list of my tips. Firstly, choose which coast you want to visit first. United States is an enormous country, so one of the first decisions you will need to make is which coast to visit, east or west. Each offers a completely unique experience. Let's break it down. If you choose the west coast, you will encounter iconic cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Seattle. It's heaven for outdoor enthusiasts with stunning landscapes like Yosemite National Park or Grand Canyon, or beautiful beaches along the Pacific Ocean, like Santa Monica Beach in Los Angeles. It's also great for tech lovers with the Silicon Valley, just a short drive from San Francisco. But on the other hand, we have the East Coast on the right side, which is perfect for history buffs and culture seekers. Cities like New York, Washington, D.C., and Boston offer a rich blend of museums, historical landmarks, and faster paced urban lifestyle. Here are also a few things to consider before deciding to which coast travel. Firstly, count travel time and costs. Keep in mind that flying between coasts takes between 5 to 6 hours and ticket prices can add up. Of course, ticket prices are higher to Los Angeles than to New York. Also, the weather. West Coast tends to be warmer, while the East Coast experiences all four seasons distinctly. Another thing is interests. Think about whether you'd rather explore cultural attractions or enjoy the great outdoors. Ultimately, it's about matching the destination to your preferences and priorities. Both coasts have something incredible to offer, but it's better to keep that in mind that one coast have one specification and another one have another specification and features. Okay, next one, be aware of the homelessness and drug addicts problem. While the United States is one of the wealthiest countries in the world, it's important to be aware of certain challenges, such as homelessness and drug addiction, which are particularly visible in large cities. You will notice this issue most in places like San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, Seattle, or Portland. In some areas of those cities, you might even encounter open drug use. While this can be surprising or even unsettling, it's crucial to understand that these problems are complex and deeply rooted in social and economic factors in USA. Here are a few tips to stay safe and navigate these areas responsibly. Firstly, avoid walking alone late at night, especially in poorly lit areas or neighborhoods you are unfamiliar with. Secondly, stick to tourist zones and ask locals or hotel staff for advice on safe routes. Thirdly, be cautious but empathetic. Most homeless individuals are not a threat, but it's always wise to stay aware of your surroundings. And lastly, carry minimal cash and avoid displaying valuables such as jewelry or expensive electronics to reduce the risk of theft. And overall, by being mindful and prepared, you can enjoy your trip safely while also understanding some of the challenges that cities face. Okay, so let's go to the next one. First tip, be prepared for the traffic. If you're planning to drive in the USA, be prepared for the traffic. It's a major issue in many cities and quite different from what we are used to in Poland or in Europe. One key difference is that in USA, traffic jams are usually caused by the sheer volume of cars rather than poor road conditions. There are that many cars that it's impossible to avoid traffic. Even though highways or freeways, as they are called, often have multiple lanes, they still became heavily congested, especially during crash hours. Another thing to keep in mind is that Google Maps travel times might not always be accurate. Traffic can significantly increase your journey time, and distance in the USA are often much longer than appear on the map. What looks like a quick drive might end up taking hours. So, my tip to travel smoother is use your app. Use app like Waze for real-time traffic updates and better route suggestions. Avoid driving during peak hours, typically between 7 and 9 a.m. and 9 to 7 p.m. In cities like New York or San Francisco or even Los Angeles, consider using public transportation or ride-sharing services. They are often more convenient than dealing with traffic yourself. Finally, when planning your itinerary, add extra buffer time for potential delays so you don't feel rushed. So, being mindful of these tips will save you time and make your journey less stressful. In the picture, you can see same road in the different time stamp. The one on the left is at 3 or 4 a.m., I think, and the other one is from 7 to is at 9 or 8 a.m. in the morning. So, as you can see, the traffic is changing between those two photos. Next one, next tip, fourth, try public transport in bigger cities. Public transport in the USA can be an excellent option in large metropolitan areas, but it's worth noting that it's practically non-existent outside major cities. In big cities like New York, Washington, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, public transit systems are well developed and include subways, buses, and even trams in some places. So using public transportation in these cities has several advantages, like it's mostly cheaper and faster than driving, especially when you factor the parking costs and heavy traffic. It's also more eco-friendly and offer a chance to experience the city like a local. However, once you leave the urban centers, the story changes. Public transport infrastructure is very limited or even non-existent in smaller towns and rural areas. So if you plan to explore outside the big cities, renting a car is usually your best and often only option. So my tip how to make the most of the public transportation: purchase city transport passes to save money, especially if you plan to use public transit frequently. Use apps like Google Map all or local transit apps for real-time routes, planning and schedules. And lastly, the most important tip for me, avoid public transportation late at night, especially in less busy areas which cannot be very safe. Especially avoid using metro at night because you can meet a lot of not nice and not healthy people, if I can say like that. But in overall, public transportation can be a convenient, affordable, and sustainable way to navigate big cities while getting a feel for their local vibe. In the picture, we can see the map of the rail system in Los Angeles. As we can see, we have a lot of public transportation, but it's better to rent a car if you want to go from one end to another end of the city. On the other picture, in the other picture, you can see the inside of the public bus in Los Angeles. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Fifth tip, always be cautious on lights. Traffic rules in USA are quite different from those in Europe, so it's important to be aware of these differences to stay safe, whether you're driving or walking. One of the biggest differences is what happens at red lights. In most states, drivers are allowed to turn right on a red light, unless a sign explicitly prohibits it. So in Poland we have the right arrow. In USA we don't have it. They don't have it. It's like you have red light, but if you want to turn right, you can turn right if you are sure that you don't hurt anyone. But most often, if someone drives fast, he just go through that red light and turn right. So that is good to keep in mind if you are a pedestrian. So, as I said, as a pedestrian, this means you should always check for cars turning red, even you have a green light to walk. So when it comes to pedestrian safety, most probably also your safety as the uh, traveler, tourist, it's worth nothing that drivers don't always yell. Even when you have the right of way, always make sure that it's safe. At intersections, it's best to stay alert and not assume that cars will stop. Crosswalks without signals can also be tricky. Always try to make an eye contact with drivers before crossing to ensure they've seen you and also they've started to slow down. And my tips is always to look both ways, even when the pedestrian light is green, white, because in USA the pedestrian lights are white or red. It's not like green walking guy. It's the white walking guy on the pedestrian light. Next one is if you plan to drive, take some time to familiarize yourself with local traffic rules because um, I think is that you will en- en- encounter situation when you stay on the lights and you want to turn right, who will be um, someone who will be back back to you, someone who will be someone who will be behind you will start yelled at you or maybe honk to go, but you will be like, "What the hell, guy? I'm staying on the red light." So it's good to familiarize yourself with local traffic rules. Also, in cities where jaywalking is common, be extra cautious. It can lead to dangerous situation. Let's go next. Be ready for prices. Shopping in the USA can come with a few surprises, especially when it comes to pricing and taxes. And it's important to understand these differences to avoid confusion at the checkout. One key difference is that the prices displayed on shelves don't include sales tax. The tax rate varies by state. For example, it's 0% in Oregon, but can exceed to 10% in places like California. So this means the final price you pay at the register will always be higher than what you see on the tag. But in the other hand, it's good for your mind because you need to calculate the final price based on the tax each time you are in the shopping. You are shopping, so you know your mind always working. So it's the advantage. But not everyone likes to count the price every time they want to buy something, so that can be misleading. So, when it comes to comparing prices with Poland, there are some notable differences. Food items, especially fresh one, tend to be more expensive in the USA than in Poland. On the other hand, electronics like iPhones, iPads, and branded clothing are often cheaper, making them a popular choice for tourists. Eating out. However, can be costly in USA. You don't forget to factor the tip, which are usually expected in restaurants and should be between 15 to 20% or even more of the bill. So, what's the tips for your shop? For shopping smart, check the sales tax rates before you go to the certain shop when you are in the certain state. Visit outlets and discount stores for better deals on clothing and other items. When you want to dining out or using services, always account for tips in your budget to avoid any surprises or misunderstoods with courier or with the food delivery guy or with the waiter or with the waiter. And also, with a little planning, you can navigate shopping and dining in the USA without any unexpected costs. So, it's all about the planning and being prepared. Okay, let's go to the next one. With the bigger prices come bigger sizes. So one of the first things you will notice when shopping or dining in the USA is that almost everything comes in larger size compared to Europe, including Poland. Let's start with drinks. A large bottle of soda in the US often contains significantly more liquid than what we are used to. For instance, a standard large Coca-Cola bottle is typically 2 liters or more, and at fast food chains, fountain drinks labeled as large can reach up to 1.5 liters or more. In grocery stores, it's very common to see gallon-sized containers of milk, water, and juices. Perfect for families but sometimes overwhelming for individual travelers. When it comes to food portions, restaurants in the US are famous for their oversized meals. In many cases, a single serving might be enough for two people. Packaged snacks like chips or popcorn are also sold in bulk sizes that can feel excessive if you are not used to them. Here are some tips to keep in mind. Be mindful of portion sizes to avoid food waste or over ordering. When eating out, consider sharing meals with someone. It's a great way to save money and avoid overindulging. So, understanding the scale of food and drink sizes in the US will help you adjust and make most of your experience while avoiding unnecessary waste in food and in your money. Next one, try some US cuisine. I don't mean only fast food chains, but mainly try some of them which are not available in Poland. So, one of the highlights of visiting the USA is experiencing its unique culinary culture, which combines fast food favorites with regional specialities you won't find in Poland. So, let's start with some iconic fast food chains like In-N-Out and Taco Bell, and also Wendy. You can see in the picture on the left side we have the In-N-Out big set and the Wendy set. Also, besides of that, it's good to try some some fast food truck, some food trucks, local cuisine if you find. Also, try some Mexican food, which is also very tasty and very nice. So, and also it's nice to try their Coca-Cola because some people say it tastes different than Europe one, but in my opinion, it was similar. Okay, so let's go to another one. Here we have also the some of the uh, spec, spec, specific USA drinks and also the Taco Bell food. On the left side, we have the Prime hydration drink, which is very expensive for the drink prices in Poland. But in USA, it's have standard price for like 5 zlotych. And also you have the very popular USA beer, Bud Light, which tastes like Polish Tyskie, if I can compare it to something in Poland. The next one, go to see one of the movie studios. Of course, if you are in Los Angeles. So if you are visiting Los Angeles, immersing yourself in the city's rich film history is a must-do activity. One of the best ways to do this is by visiting a movie studio. Let's start with Warner Bros. Studio Tour. This is perfect for true film and TV fans. You will get the chance to visit iconic sites like Friends, Central Park, or the Big Bang Theory. It's an incredible way to see how some of your favorite shows and movies were brought to life. So why is this experience worth it? You will gain insight into Hollywood history and learn about the production processes behind major films. It's also a rare opportunity to step into the world of your favorite shows and movies. And here's my also other small tips. Make sure to book a ticket in advance. And these tours are very popular and also you can save some money. Arrive early to avoid long lines and get the most out of your visit, especially if you want to come at the weekend, because there are a lot of people. In weekdays, there are not many, but in the other hand, at the weekdays, you can go to every set because they cast movies there. Another must-visit destination in Los Angeles for movie lovers and another movie studio is Universal Studio in Hollywood. It's not just a studio, but it's also an incredible theme park experience. It's also more expensive than Warner Bros. Because we have mix of the two of the movie studio and theme park. So if you just want to experience the movie studio stuff, then it's better go to the Warner Bros. If you want to also experience the theme park from your favorite movies, then it's better to go to Universal Studio. Okay, so let's go to another one. Also, besides of movie studios, USA is known from the most breathtaking natural landscapes in the world, and its national parks are must-see for any travelers. Among these, the Grand Canyon stands out as an iconic destination. Here you can see the Grand Canyon, the scenery. Another really nice uh, national park is Bryce Canyon, which also have the specific rock structure which called hoodoos. This is the orange rocks. Another one is, I think, worth to visit is Zion National Park, which is less rocky than Grand Canyon and Bryce Canyon, but it's also worth visiting. And the last tip from my side is don't rush and enjoy your stay. Traveling in the USA is an incredible adventure, but one of the most important things to remember is not to rush. Take the time to truly enjoy your stay. USA is a vast country and trying to do everything in a short time can leave you feeling exhausted and unhappy. Instead of cramming too many destinations into your itinerary, itinerary, focus on a few key places. For example, you could visit iconic landmarks like Welcome to Las Vegas sign, Golden Gate Bridge, San Fran- in in San Francisco, or the Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles, which you can see on in the free photos on the slide. But do so at the relaxed pace. Prioritize quality over quantity. Take the time to explore local culture, savor the food, and experience the tradition of each places. Don't just check off items. And the most important thing, take a lot of photos because memory will fade away, but photos will stay on your hard drive. Or if you lose your hard drive, then you don't have photo and memory. So better do a backup. And that will be all from my side. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for your attention. And if you have any question, please contact me via email or ask me via Facebook Messenger, how you like. So, thank you for joining me on this journey through tips for traveling the USA. I hope this insight will help you plan an unforgettable trip filled with adventure, discovery, and lasting memories. As you embark on your adventure, remember to take your time, embrace the unexpected, and enjoy every moment in USA. And as the signs say, God bless America. Happy travel and may your journey be incredible. Thank you.